What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of a foam flinging shotgun I found on Amazon. This blaster is spring-powered, uses shells, and ejects shells in a pretty cool way. Not a normal Nerf blaster, a little bit weird for the channel, but let's get into it. Included is the blaster, disassembled, shells, shell holder, red dot sight, darts, glasses, screwdriver, and the instructions. External overview of the shotgun, starting up at the front. There's no in-strike barrel lug. But up front we have a front iron sight which corresponds with the rear iron sight here. This is the magazine tube, this is where the shells go, and this is the priming handle. To prime this blaster, you pull back and push forward. The prime stroke is heavier than most normal Nerf blasters on the market, but it's doing a lot more mechanically speaking. But you can also pull back in the chamber handle like that to prime the blaster instead of using the priming handle. Up top we have a Picatinny style rail up here. It includes this red dot, but this red dot is an absolute piece of trash and I would not recommend you use it. It's so bad. But you can still put this or a different airsoft red dot on the rail if you'd like to. Now moving down to the loading port. This loads like an actual shotgun. I've got a Benelli M2 shotgun that I use for 3-gun, and loading it is actually very similar to my real shotgun. So to load, you get your shell and your dart. These are the included darts. They're not half-length darts and they're not full-length Elite darts. But it is compatible with Nerf Elite darts if you get your Nerf Elite dart, get scissors, and cut it to the same length. So they're the same dimensions and everything except for length, if that makes sense. But you get your dart, you shove it into the shell like that, then you get your shell, and you feed it in like that, just like a real shotgun. The capacity is 3 darts. It holds 3 shells. That's it. Once you have your loaded shells in the tube, you can rack the slide, which then puts the shell in the chamber like this, very similar to how a real shotgun chambers. Then you pull the handle forward, and that loads the shell and the dart into the chamber, ready to fire. Then you pull the trigger, and it fires one time. Each dart holds 1 shell, so it looks like a shotgun, but it doesn't fire multiple darts. It only fires 1 dart at a time. And after you fire, the shell ejects, which is pretty cool. And you repeat that 3 times because the capacity is 3 darts. However, I did experience quite a few issues with this feeding system. Sometimes when I shoved the shell into the tube, this little notch did not catch the shell and it ejected out. And that clogged into the chamber in a place where it was not supposed to be, so when I primed it, it would seize up. This issue happened to me 4 or 5 times, and each time it took me 5 minutes to solve the problem. It was super annoying. There was probably a little bit of human error in not shoving the shell in all the way. But I wasn't even speed reloading when these issues occurred. I was deliberately slowly reloading and it still happened. So it might have been partially me, but the mechanics are not really well refined in that regard. But other than the problem feeding, it is really cool to shove a shell in like that. More on those hiccups in my opinion. Moving on down to the trigger pull is pretty standard. This blaster does not have slam fire. Above the trigger is the trigger safety, so the blaster is hot when you're able to feel the safety. When you push it through, it's safe. In my opinion, that's backwards, but who cares? And now down to the grip. It is not like any other Nerf grip on the market because it's modeled after a shotgun, not after Nerf guns. But it's smooth, ergonomic, filleted. It's got some texture on it to help you with your grip. Overall, pretty good grip that's probably going to welcome most hand sizes. Over on this side, we have a shell caddy, which sticks on using adhesive tape. You don't have to install this if you don't want to, but it has elastic loops which hold extra shells. Moving back to the stock, this is an adjustable stock. If you press this little blue button, you can slide it like that, but it has this really weird feature where it folds over like that. The Amazon page of this blaster says it's so you can check your chamber without like breaking the connection to your stock, but in my opinion, stocks need to be stationary and stable. That's what a stock is for. I find it super annoying, but you might find it super tactical. I don't know. Sling mount down here, a cloth sling mount right here, but the stock looks pretty cool. It's adjustable and it's pretty comfortable. That is an external overview of the shotgun. Now I'll show you it firing, sort of. Shooting the included short length darts. As you can see, the performance of this blaster is hit and miss. Mechanically, it does not work consistently. It only fires 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4 times. It's super annoying. And when it does actually launch, it doesn't launch very well. The consistency between shell to shell is not very good. The dart fits. Some darts fit in there just fine. Some of them don't fit at all. And remember, this is the barrel of the blaster, so this is all about your barrel fit. It has to be tight to get a good shot. Half the darts don't even feed in there. They'll drip right out, so the barrel fit is terrible, leading to terrible firing performance. A lot of the times, the dart just doesn't leave the barrel. You have to tilt it down to get the dart out and then rechamber and keep firing. And with a 3-round capacity, When one of your 3 darts doesn't launch, that's super debilitating. That's annoying. And when you look down the barrel, you can see the screws that are used for assembly. They put screws through the barrel. So the darts that do launch, no doubt bang into the screws, and then their trajectory is all screwed up. Beyond the terrible firing performance, mechanically, the shells did not consistently feed. As I mentioned, sometimes when I put the round into the feed tube, this little latch did not catch the shell. So it ejected into the closed chamber, which a shell is not supposed to be there. So then when you go to prime it, it all clogs up, and it's super annoying. It took me 5 minutes to fix it every time this problem presented. I'm getting emotional, I'm getting angry because this blaster is so frustrating. It's such trash mechanically. So very inconsistent firing velocities when it fired at all, and I had a number of jams with this chamber. But when it did work, the shell flying out of the chamber did look pretty cool. Have to be a little bit positive. But to compare this blaster's firing performance to others, I put it up on my chronograph. And when I only included darts that left the barrel, not the misfires, I got an average velocity of 48 feet per second, which is noticeably slower than the 70 FPS par. And muzzle velocity aside, because there are screws protruding in the barrels, the dart trajectory was awful. It was not fun to use this because you can't actually hit anything. And so often, the dart just doesn't leave the barrel, which is just annoying. That is the objective information I can provide on this blaster. Now to my personal opinion. Overall, my opinion of this blaster is very low. I hate this thing. I don't think anyone should buy it. It does not launch darts consistently. As a foam flinger, that's obviously very important to me. But even if you want to just use empty shells and have shells fly out of the chamber, it jams pretty often. It's finicky. It doesn't work very smoothly. The mechanics don't make it fun to play with. I get it, this blaster is not designed for people like me that want to fling foam. But the people that want to act tactical and walk around like John Wick are going to want to make the shells fly out consistently. It sometimes hiccups, it sometimes jams. For $150, I was expecting it to mechanically work okay. I mean, the just gross oversights. You can see the screws in the barrel. What kind of dart launcher puts an obstruction in the barrel? That's just stupid. That's short-sighted. They're only looking at this product from the surface, from the outside. So my opinion of this one is very low, bros. Now to the question to buy or not to buy. If you enjoy flinging foam in any capacity, don't buy this one. I'm not talking about competitive nerfers. Obviously, they're not going to want this anyways. But if you're a plinker, if you're a target shooter, if you enjoy flinging foam through the air, this blaster does not do a good job at that. The dart fit in these shells is so inconsistent. Some darts fire, some darts don't. It's annoying. When I pull the trigger on a spring-powered blaster, I want to know that a dart is going to be launched. And a third to a half of the rounds just don't fire. It's so frustrating to use this. And if you're just a prop guy, if you're just a tactical guy, you don't actually care if the blaster fires, you just want to walk around and rack the shells, it doesn't work consistently enough to have fun with that. It's super annoying to play with this. The mechanics of this unit are just not well designed. They are not well executed. I cannot see a single person buying this and being happy that they spent $150 on it. I just don't see that happening. And if this thing were like $30 or $40, I'd say, okay, that's a pretty cool feeling shotgun. It could be fun to most of the time chamber a shell and to feel like John Wick for 40 or 50 bucks, but 150? No way, Jose. So my purchase recommendation, absolutely not. Do not purchase this one under any conditions. If you want a prop style blaster like this, I'm sure they have something in the airsoft world for a lot less money than this that actually works consistently. This one doesn't. This really doesn't accomplish anything. This is the type of garbage that should not be available on the market. But Amazon is currently being flooded with low-quality trash like this from China, and people are buying it because it looks cool in the photos. And I've been reluctant to review crap like this because I just don't assume anyone's buying it. Then you look at the reviews, tons of people bought it and tons of people are unhappy with it. So maybe I should review more trash like this just to warn you guys away from it. I know I'm getting negative. I'm sorry if I'm bringing your day down. It's just this product is garbage and I don't want anyone else to buy it. So I'll leave it at that. But bros, if you know of any other China trash that you want me to review, I might just do a group review of a bunch of crap just to warn people away from them and to expose the garbage for being garbage. That is my job as a reviewer after all. So hopefully I've laid out all the objective information for you to make an educated purchase decision. I don't think you should buy this, but if you are not free to make the wrong decision, you are not truly free. So I will put a purchase link in the description box below. That's it for this video review. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.